Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. We start today in Davis County, where deputies are hoping you can help them identify two suspects involved in a theft case. Surveillance video shows a woman and a man breaking into a construction site on West 2nd Street and steal some stuff. Now, this happened early this morning.
Yeah, if you know anything, then you need to call the sheriff's office. We do have this video posted for you on 14news.com as well to get a closer look. Again, if you have information, make sure you pass that along to the authorities.
Now, another story on something we've kind of been keeping our thumb on for a long time. CenterPoint is now offering an in-person option to pay bills and speak to reps. Organizers say every Wednesday from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30, you can walk into the Central Plaza in downtown Evansville and sit down with a representative. Officials say no appointment is needed.
Yeah, along with making a payment there, you can also just get some answers to any billing-related questions and set up flexible payment options. I know those are two very common questions and concerns that customers have. So if you want some more information about this opportunity, you can visit our website, 14news.com. We'll have all the dates and times listed for you there.
And for our final headline today, women from all over the tri-state hit the links at Evansville's Country Club to take part in the annual Deaconess Classic. This year's theme, Red, White, and Birdies, celebrates America's 250th birthday while continuing a long-standing tradition of women supporting women.
Yeah, the annual event raises money to provide life-saving mammograms and ultrasound screenings for people across the tri-state. So it really was a perfect day for it out there. They got to have some fun, but all for a greater cause. And I'm loving all of the America 250 themes people are doing for the events. I mean, they had like people decked out in red, white, and blue and a lot of golf cart decoration. That was really fun, too.
We'll see when we reach the end of the summer if I've gotten sick of that one color scheme
So
everywhere.
far, I'm
but
not.
As of now, it's fun.
It gets me really excited.
Right?
Yeah, I love the 250
Stars,
theme.
Stripes,
Yeah,
come on.
it's good stuff.
It's easy. Every theme for every summer event. There you go. All right. Well, for more on this gorgeous day that we have going on outside, we're going to throw it over to someone a lot smarter than either of us.
It's true.
But of course, we've got a lot going on around the tri-state today, so be sure to circle back for 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10.
And if you join us in about 30 minutes, we'll have a pretty cool story over on our website. The Indiana Hoosiers football team, I should say, IU, they're actually visiting the White House right now. They're going to visit some of our nation's leaders. So we're talking about America 250, and that is going to be on our website in about 30 minutes. So I want to make sure I mentioned that to you before we turn you over to weather. All right, we'll wrap this up. We'll get you to Arden, like Rob said. Stick around right after the break.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory. Here is a live look at the Owensboro Riverfront on this beautiful Monday. Look at those clear blue skies overhead. You can tell from the flags and the tops of the trees here, though, it is a little bit breezy at times We do have a cool wind coming in from the north, but that is keeping our temperatures from getting too warm. Today is sunny and very seasonable. Our temperatures are really right where they should be for this time of year. Tomorrow will be a little warmer. Then we've got a chance of rain Tuesday night. That brings us a very slight cool down, but then a big warm up for the weekend. By this weekend, we could be looking at the warmest temperatures we've seen so far this year. Now, some of us got a little bit of rain last night. There wasn't much to it, just a few light showers, mainly over western Kentucky overnight last night. As expected, though, that rain pushed out very early. We were all dry by about 4 a.m., and then the clouds quickly followed, and we've had clear blue skies overhead since about 7 o'clock this morning. So even though we had a little rain overnight, we've had lots of sunshine all day today, and we're going to keep the sunny skies going through the rest of the day today and overnight tonight. Our skies remain mostly clear. Tomorrow, plenty of sunshine for Tuesday, but we do start to see clouds building in Tuesday evening into Tuesday night ahead of our next chance of rain. This is not going to be anything to get too worked up over, but a weak cold front is going to push in from the northwest, and as it swings into the tri-state, it does bring us a chance of rain very late Tuesday night. We're talking after midnight, 1 a.m., and then moving through late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. So best chance of rain would be between about 1 and 5 a.m. Wednesday morning. Then very early on, that rain pushes back off to the southeast. I think by about 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, we'll all be dry and mostly sunny again, but our wind direction will change, and so we do see a slight cool down then Wednesday and Thursday. As for our risk of any thunderstorms, that's actually Wednesday. I meant to show you Tuesdays. Well, it doesn't look dramatically different. Here, let me drag Tuesdays in just to make sure we're all on the same page here. My bad. Okay, so here's Tuesdays. Tuesday's outlook here, we're outlooked for just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms. So we could maybe get a pocket of heavy rain or a rumble of thunder, but it looks like any chance of severe weather will probably stay northwest of the tri-state, and even that is an isolated chance. This is a pretty weak cold front that's going to be moving through, so it could maybe kick up an isolated stronger storm from up near Chicago down back in toward Kansas there, but including areas like St. Louis and much of central Illinois. But again, that would be earlier in the day Tuesday, as those showers and storms head our way very late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. They will weaken. So again, I think this will mainly just be a few scattered showers, but I can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm. Severe weather not expected. As for our temperatures, really comfortable out there right now. We're sitting in the low to mid 70s. It's 73 in Evansville and Owensboro. I mentioned wind direction earlier. Wind direction is really what drives our temperatures. It's really important to pay attention to which way the wind is coming from. Today, our wind is coming from the north, so it is pulling cooler, drier air from the north down into the tri-state. So that does keep us a little on the cooler side. We still have lots of sunshine out there helping to warm us up, but that cool air flowing in from the north is a limiting factor. So we'll probably climb just a couple more degrees, topping out somewhere in the mid 70s in most locations this afternoon. Then once the sun sets, we'll start to drop back out of the 60s and through the 50s. We'll eventually bottom out in the upper 40s to low 50s by the end of the night tonight under clear, calm conditions. So again, I want to point out the wind. Right now it's coming in from the north. Overnight tonight the wind dies down. It'll go completely calm. Then tomorrow it picks back up, but coming from the south, pulling warmer air from the south up into the tri-state. That plus plenty of sunshine will push us into the upper 70s and even low 80s in some locations tomorrow afternoon. Moving forward beyond that then, we've got that cold front moving through Tuesday night. Again, just a few scattered showers overnight. Shouldn't really impact many people's plans, as it's going to fall mainly between 1 and 5 a.m. So a lot of folks will sleep right through it. Then cooler air shifts in as our wind direction changes again. Highs in the mid 70s Wednesday, lower 70s Thursday, but then we start to warm back up as we get into the weekend, and we could be looking at highs near 90 on Sunday, potentially bringing us the warmest air we have experienced so far this year. And that's really something, given how warm this spring has been. We had, a high of 88 back in March, and then a couple days where we made it to 86 in April. So This is really something if we get even warmer than that. Here's kind of toward the end of the week. First of all, I want to point out this high pressure system. The winds around a high pressure system move clockwise, so that means when you're on kind of the right side, the east side of things here, you've got cool air flowing in from the north, and then when you're on the west side, the left side, winds are coming from the south. So as this high pressure system moves through the tri-state, we've got cool air flowing in from the north Wednesday into Thursday. Then it starts to slide off to the east and our winds shift around and start coming in from the south. You'll notice that change happening along this warm front here. As that warm front swings through on Friday, an isolated shower or maybe even a thunderstorm might pop up along that warm front. So we do have a very isolated chance of rain on Friday. But also we see this surge of warm air from the south starting to kick in. So our temperatures will climb into the upper 70s to near 80 on Friday. Then as we continue that flow of warm air from the south, our temperatures just keep climbing over the weekend. It looks like most of the rain will probably stay to our north, and I think will most likely stay dry, although partly cloudy through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But then a cold front starts to come in from the northwest, and that does kick up a chance of rain Monday into Tuesday of next week. But there's still a lot of uncertainty with exactly the timing and how that's going to play out. So that's something we'll continue to monitor. Here's the 7-day forecast. Again, kind of just a summary of what we just talked about. We do have that chance of rain late Tuesday night into very early Wednesday morning, but during the day, I think both days will be dry. Highs up around 80 tomorrow, then cooling down some as our wind direction changes Wednesday into Thursday. Fridays, when that warm front swings through, that brings us an isolated chance of rain and a warm up, especially as we get into the weekend. Highs in the upper 80s this weekend and into the start of next week. But then Monday into Tuesday, some of the models are hinting more like Tuesday, Wednesday, but sometime first half of next week, we'll probably have a cold front move through. And whenever that happens, it will bring us a chance of rain and some thunderstorms, and it'll also cool us down. But at least this weekend into Monday, maybe even Tuesday of next week, it looks like we will be dealing with some very warm temperatures with highs climbing into the upper 80s. It would not shock me at all if we even make it to 90 on Sunday, and that would be our first 90 of the year so far. All right, good afternoon, Mary and Zach. Zach is asking about daily nonstop severe weather. I don't know where you're getting information like that, Zach, but no, that's not something that would ever happen. It's not physically possible to get daily nonstop severe weather. At some point, the weather has to move on, right? And to a certain extent, you have to have time to re-energize in between rounds of storms, right? So no, we're not going to get what you described as daily nonstop severe weather. There's no world in which that's happening. We may see some thunderstorms as we get into next week. We've got this very warm, humid air pushing in this weekend into the start of next week. So whenever a cold front moves through, be it Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, it's possible that we could maybe have enough energy, enough humidity and warmth in the atmosphere that would lend itself to the potential for maybe some heavy rain or some stronger storms being produced from that. But I'm not seeing any clear indication of severe weather at all. We're not expecting any severe weather this week. And even as we get into next week, it's too early to talk details, but I don't see any clear indication of any kind of widespread severe weather with that. But again, a lot of the details are still fuzzy with that. Exactly when the storms would move through, time of day oftentimes plays into that. If you've got storms coming through in the middle of the afternoon when it's the warmest, most humid part of the day, oftentimes they're stronger than if they were to move in at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning when the sun has already set and the energy is kind of winding down. So, you know, there's a lot that can play into that, and we just don't have those details yet for next week. For May so far, it has been a pretty cool start with the exception of last Monday. We've had highs in the 50s and 60s for the whole first week of May, and then just this weekend we climbed into the 70s, and we're sticking with the 70s again today. We did have some very beneficial rainfall Tuesday through Tuesday night of last week, but even though Tuesday was kind of a rainy day, it was not enough rain to dig us out of the hole that we're in right now. We are running short on rainfall for the month, and we have had only about 2/3 of our typical rainfall at this point in the year. Typically by this point in our year, we would have had about 1.5 feet of rain. Instead, we've only had about 1 foot of rain spread out over the past 5 months or so. So just something to note here that we have had some rain, but it was not enough rain. We are still dealing with drought conditions across much of the country and much of the tri-state, especially as you look out west and across the southeast. They are dealing with severe to extreme or even exceptional drought. Lots of issues with, farmers having problems with drought as they're trying to get their crops going here. We are already hearing word on water shortages and water restrictions happening in places like Colorado. Lots of wildfires happening across Florida right now. So these dry conditions are causing lots of problems in other places. Thankfully, we're kind of on the fringe of that. Ours hasn't gotten too bad. We did get some beneficial rainfall last week, but we are still dealing with dry or even drought conditions across much of the tri-state right now. On the upside, if you do need to get out and get some yard work done, we've got beautiful weather for it. Really, any day this week that you want to get out, mow your grass, work in your garden, whatever it may be. We do have that chance of rain Tuesday night, but it's going to be during the overnight hours, so it shouldn't impact anyone's plans during the day. Tuesday and Wednesday should both be dry. The pollen count is still high, though, so keep that in mind. If you have seasonal allergies, that rain Tuesday night might wet things down a little bit, but it's not going to be the kind of widespread soaking rain you would really need to have any big impact on the pollen count. So we're still going to be looking at medium to high pollen levels through the rest of this week. And again, here's another look at that 7-day forecast. A really pleasant weather, pretty quiet and really comfortable through the next few days. This weekend is when we start to get into that hotter, more humid air, and then that could potentially feed some thunderstorm chances as we get into next week. But again, it's too early to talk details on that. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions in the comments, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons will have an updated look at your forecast on 14 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10. And he'll do another streaming show here tonight at 9. I hope you'll join him for that then. And I hope you get at least a little bit of time today where you can get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day.